racing, brace, for an unexpected and thrilling race. Now, what we do have is an impressive international entry list. Among them, we have this weekend former Formula One driver Adrian Sutil, who might be very happy because not only he won yesterday his first race in this championship, but today he's starting from pole. Adrian, how are you feeling ahead of the race?
Well, all
from
getting
row,
ready, so yeah, I'm always happy to drive a little bit, so I do my best and have fun.
I have to correct myself. You said you were starting from pole. No, you're starting from row.
Exactly.
But you have Jon Wurtig on pole.
Correct, yes.
After the speed and the experience that you have and the speed you showed yesterday, do you think you can catch up with him soon?
I try my best as always. You know, we're here for a little challenge and competition, so yeah, I will do my best and see what the outcome is.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
And delighted to welcome Adrian Sutil to the grid of the Ferrari Challenge. And yesterday, then he had a fantastic race and he took the win. Of course, he was gifted the opportunity, and he was, in fairness to him, he said that actually up on the podium because Doriane Pin gifted him the opportunity of the race win. Of course, he seized it and he won very well and in very commanding style. So, well done, Adrian Sutil. Then he's qualified well. He is on the front row of the grid. Alongside him, though, is Jon Wurtig. Let's go back to Marietta Evans right now.
Yesterday we were treated to an amazing battle between Jon Wurtig and Adrian Sutil, and today it is, at least for the start of the race, Jon Wurtig who has the advantage pole. Jon, starting from pole, how much that is going to help you to try to defend yourself and go away from Adrian Sutil?
Yeah, of course. As you have seen yesterday, the battle was quite close. I will do the maximum to keep the lead during the whole race, and yeah, that's the main goal.
It's going to be a really, really important run to turn one here.
Yeah, of course. As I told you, my main goal is the championship. So I need to finish every race, take the maximum of the points. And then, yeah, we'll see. The race, it's a race, so we never know.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Jon Wurtig then, certainly he had a torrid time of it in Portimao, but he and the car are as one this weekend, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see what Jon Wurtig is able to do today. And of course, he has put himself in the best possible position by starting from P1. Good qualifying from Jon Wurtig, a good qualifying too from Adrian Sutil, and then the Doriane Pin has got a lot of work to do. However, I feel sure that overtaking will be the name of the game. Luca Nurmi and Ongibardi that you can see there as we follow Marco Gaspard down the grid. To the right-hand side of your picture is Christian Bundsbrook. To the left-hand side of your picture is Arno Dahlmeier as we continue our walk down the grid then. To the right-hand side, you can see the number 8 car of Nicolo Rossi. And then it is the number 89 car of Nigel Schoendevert, who's welcome into the Ferrari Challenge. What a battle this man had last time out yesterday. To the left-hand side, that was Hanno Laskowski, who spent the entire time bouncing around with this guy, car number 25, Alessandro Cozzi. What a battle that was between the two of them. And Nico Spalek, if we have anything like we had yesterday, it was really, really dramatic, wasn't it? Good afternoon to you, I should say.
Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, it was dramatic, especially towards the end when the Doriane Pin car dropped away from the lead of the race, and then it was really showtime between Sutil and Wurtig.
Indeed. And
there is the Doriane Pin car, which in terms of straight pace, I think is unquestionable the quickest car out there thus far.
Certainly, that would everything tells us that that is the case. But of course, she has quite a lot of 4-a-day Challenge Evos in front of her now. Follow us on at Ferrari Races, if you will, as we celebrate our 30th anniversary year of the Ferrari Challenge. We are here at Paul Ricard on the coast here in the south of France. Absolutely glorious location where the air temperature is a beautiful 22.9 degrees, so we're nearer to 23 than 22. Track temperature 46 degrees. And we are going to experience this 5.842 kilometer circuit now as we take you through all the sectors. Sector 1 into the first turn, which is the left-hander, turn number 1. Sector 1 contains turns 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So a bit twisty towards the end of the sector. And then we get into what is effectively the power sector here at Paul Ricard. Out of turn number 7, and then it's a big blast Mistral straight before turns 8 and 9, the chicane. And then we get to the really windy part, if you will, of the Paul Ricard circuit, where the setup of the car has to be compromised to accommodate both the power section and also this windy section through turns 11, 12, 13, 14, and the final turn is turn 15, the whole sector starting with turn number 10, that fast right-hander. So that is 1 lap of the circuit Paul Ricard. 15 turns, 6 left. 9 of them are right-handers. The track, built in '69, made its racing debut back in 1970. Let's have a look at this place in full. Really nice, evocative look at Paul Ricard. And what you saw in there, of course, was the fact that here as a special guest yesterday was the Ferrari F355 challenge car. So as we celebrate 30 years of the Ferrari Challenge, this simply fantastic one-make series. The Ferrari F355 forming part of its rich heritage and history, if you will. Of course, the series was started with the F348, but as I said, this F355 here with some fantastic laps to illustrate just how potent this car was in the Ferrari Challenge and remains potent today. With Christian Colombo at the wheel, I believe he was able to put in a stunning lap here at Paul Ricard. Reliving the history then as we celebrate 30 years of the Ferrari Challenge. And Adrian Sutil then is standing by. What can he do alongside John Vortique going into turn number 1? The Richard Mille safety car is leading the cars away then on ahead of Marco Pulcini and Hanno Laskowski. Hanno Laskowski really involved in a fantastic battle yesterday with the driver that's starting P11, Alessandro Cozzi, and then it's Max Mugelli, the Trofeo Pirelli driver alongside. Michael Bochet and Alexandre Bochet line up side by side for Kessel Racing on that row of the grid, and then we see Doriane Pin well out of qualifying, going from P15, P16. Alongside is the car of Andrew Gilbert and Omar Jackson starting from the back of the pack. That's the way the grid looks as the cars then are weaving from side to side just to try and generate a little bit of temperature into the tires. Then you can see there that you climb uphill through turns 8 and 9. And Nico, we are standing by for Trofeo Pirelli race. The drivers are prepared, the cars are prepared, and you are probably better than me.
I hope you're all ready for what you're about to witness. It's got to be a fierce battle into turn 1. Lots of runoff area, so the drivers generally are a little bit over-ambitious at times because you can evade if something tends to go wrong. But it's going to be very difficult into those first few turns, and everybody will be eager to get going.
It was really great to see on board with Onge Bardi. You could see his whole body moving as he was pressing the brake pedal to generate temperature from the brake pads and discs so that it dissipates out into the tires to get some well-needed warmth into those Pirelli tires. And here is Doriane Pin, who I predict predict during the course of the first lap will be doing some overtaking. Out-qualified by some measure. Doriane Puis, the team deciding to leave it until the second half of qualifying before she would make her qualifying effort, and then for one reason and another got caught out and therefore was not able to set a meaningful lap time, which is great for us because it's going to be oh so entertaining to watch her try and carve her way through the pack like the proverbial hot knife through butter. We will see. She has Andrew Gilbert ahead of her and Omar Jackson right behind. Now the cars go side by side then to line up in grid fashion, and the Richard Mills safety car will peel off into the pit lane, and it will be the responsibility of John Vortique, pole position, Adrian Sutil alongside to control the pace of the rolling start. Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli race 2 at Paul Ricard is just moments away. As the lights go green, Adrian Sutil and John Vortique could not be closer together if they were welded. Very, very good start from Luca Nurmi, who's trying to best both of them going into turn number 1. Who is going to be able to take it? It is John Vortique who's able to close the door, but Luca Nurmi has got past Adrian Sutil. A number of cars run wide, and one car goes around. I think that's the Alessandro Cozzi car. Doriane Puis is on the road and up the road. Nicola Rossi is avoiding action. One car stricken there, and I'm not convinced that we're going to see this lap reach its conclusion. But John Vortique, whilst everyone else was losing their head, he kept his and maintains that pole position and converts it into the race lead. So it is John Vortique from Adrian Sutil and Luca Nurmi. Onjabardi is leading in terms of the AM drivers, ahead of Nigel Schoendever and Hanno Laskowski and Omar Jackson. So Omar Jackson must have taken some avoiding actions to really move up the order then. And there you can see it's Christian Brunsborg. Christian Brunsborg then. I'm sure that is Christian Brunsborg. He has dropped down the order. And that means that the safety car has been called for. I can see that on my timing screen now. So I did wonder whether we would get the lap completed, Nico, and quite clearly, thank goodness I got that right. It was Christian Brunsborg, and you can see he's really, really disappointed. So safety car called for on the opening lap, and it was a brilliant start from John Vortique, but Luca Nurmi was on a mission, wasn't he?
Yeah, definitely was. It looked like he had made it all the way to P1, didn't quite get it to stick, and therefore resides still in P3. So at the very front the order is as we were, but obviously Christian Brunsborg is very much in the fight for the championship in the AMs. Very, very disappointing early end, and Nicola Rossi, who was really, really quick all weekend long, for him too, didn't even make it past turn 1. Doriane Puis, meanwhile, has benefited. She's already up into P10. And everybody bunched together is not a disadvantage for her, because on the restart she will be surely looking to improve further places.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. So there is the number 44 car that we can see going through on our picture of Andrew Gilbert. So safety car was called for before the completion of one lap. Then this is Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli live from Paul Ricard. Good afternoon to you. We have a safety car out already. So John Vortique, Adrian Sutil, Luca Nurmi, the top 3 for Trofeo Pirelli. For Trofeo Pirelli AM, it's Onjabardi, and then it's Schoendever and Hanno Laskowski. They are top 3 in Trofeo Pirelli AM. Let's get a replay of the start right now. And just keep your eyes on the blue car there, Luca Nurmi, as he tries to put himself right alongside John Vortique. And sure enough, I thought, same as Nico, that he'd actually done enough. But John Vortique was able to carry enough speed into turn number 1. And therefore, he was able to go through. Well, high wiring. And oh, there you can see Christian Brunsborg go around. There were 4 cars involved in that. And that was just nothing other than a racing instant from how I've seen it there. Marco Puccini was involved in that. Let's see if we can pick it out better from this on-board shot, as everything went awry just ahead of us. So standing by, and regrettably in that replay we couldn't. The incident through turns 1 and 2 is under investigation, and you can just see Johnny Lawson to the left-hand side of your picture there, who races for the Formula Racing team. He will be disappointed. There's Frederick Paulsen, former Formula Racing Ferrari Challenge driver as well. And there you can see a very, very disappointed Christian Brunsburg. So that incident is under investigation. Cars have got to be recovered. Of course, it's always, and I've said this more than once, Nico, going into turn 1 here at Paul Ricard and then turn 2, it's something of a funnel, isn't it? And of course, everyone is trying to make up places. Great to see spectators here to enjoy the race action as well. But when you're in that funnel situation, it's inevitable that some panel rubbing can occur.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes you just got nowhere to go, and even though you've got a large runoff area, this sometimes induces drivers to be a little bit over-aggressive because they know they have space around them, but all of a sudden that space closes, and you know, especially when you go through the turns and the car is, as you say, light, the smallest of touches can really send it around, and with all the other 488 Challenge Evos around, that can quickly lead to collisions. And yeah, as we can see, the team here really working on the Alessandro Cozzi car. Nicola Rossi steps away from the car. He'll be really disappointed. He qualified so well, and I met Nicolo's father earlier on today. Nicolo introduced me to his father, and of course, he's Nicolo Rossi has really, really improved in terms of a racing driver, and it's been really joyous to watch his improvements over his career in the Ferrari Challenge. And one of his best qualifyings I saw today, and that's really, really disadvantageous because I expected him to do very well in the race as well. And it's just one of those things, one of those racing incidents, no one's fault probably, but unfortunately has probably seen the likes of Nicolo Rossi and also Christian Brunsburg out. Alessandro Cozzi, the car was in the pit lane, but hopefully he'll be able to rejoin, and maybe also to Arno Dahlmeier. So we will see. We're on board with Doriane Pin then, who, as Nico quite correctly pointed out, has made up some places and finds herself in P10 now. Of course, there are two ways to look at the Doriane Pin situation. Whilst we're under the safety car, she's not able to progress. She's not able to move forward. She's able to keep her tyres in very, very good condition. But of course, as the clock ticks down, I mean, the safety car was called for right at the very, very start of the race, and I don't think it's going to be a long time in terms of recovering the cars that are stricken on the track. Therefore, I don't think it's going to be an elongated safety car period. But inevitably, the time does tick away, and Doriane has got, theoretically, 9 cars before she can reach the top step of the podium, which is where she would like to be, and that's going to be a tall, tall order, Nico. Yeah, the only positive from that right now is she's biding her time before going out for the attack again, is everybody's pretty much bunched up, but she will hope that the drivers ahead of her will not allow a large gap to develop, because before the safety car line, quick that she might be, she's not allowed to overtake. So she will hope that everybody will be close together when they resume the race.
Onge Bardi we're on board with right now. Now, Onge's got a lot of guests here because it is his local race. Onge Bardi then, of course, really, really wants to impress all his guests. He did that by taking the race win for Trofeo Pirelli Am yesterday, and if he can make it 2 out of 2 this weekend, he would be delighted with that. Let's go down to Marietta Evans, who's in the pit lane for us.
First of all, Luca, tell us from your perspective what happened at that race start.
It's difficult to say because, you know, from the replay, I guess they got in contact, Arno and number 13 and Brunsburg, they got in contact in turn 2. Normally then in the first lap you wanna leave enough space for, you know, to run even side by side, and I guess there was not enough space, right? So they got in contact, they spun, and that's where we are now. We're trying to put it back racing because we want to still have him driving in this hot condition and collect good information for the next race, because we're going to face the summer, right?
And on the other hand, whilst we are here in Iron Link's team, that might help a bit Doriane Pin, the safety car situation?
Oh, definitely, yeah. She already got a good start. So having the safety car, you know, she's fast. So the less we have, the more we have with grip flag, the better it's going to be for her. So it's not, the safety car is not ideal for her, but still is a good chance to have the pack regrouped, and then when she starts, she has everyone closer. So yes, definitely. But she's super quick. She's gonna have fun.
Thank you very much, and good luck for both your drivers.
Thank you, guys.
So really catching up with the Scuderia Nicky Iron Links team then to ascertain what the strategy is with Doriane Pin. A very good point made there. Doriane is so quick that actually all the time spent behind the safety car is whilst it's advantageous in one way, it's disadvantageous in another way, of course, as well. And you can always look at both sides of the coin, I guess, Nico, and that's exactly what he was doing. So it's Bortik, Sutil and Nurmi. Then it's Ange Bardet, Schoenevert and Hanno Laskowski, the top three. Now the safety car is going to come in at the conclusion of this lap, which is still some way away because the safety car has only just passed our commentary studio, Nico.
Yeah, it's 3 minutes, but that means everybody will now know, okay, this is the lap to prepare the tires, to refocus, and to be on the lookout for any moves, if you're Adrian Sutil, that is, that John Bortik, where he might give it a footfall and accelerate, because that's the moment he just cannot miss if he wants to get on terms with John.
Absolutely right. Very good to see that Formula Racing have managed to get Alessandro Cozzi back out on the track. He's joined the what is considered the back of the crocodile, and therefore Alessandro Cozzi will be in the race, and that's really, really good to see. Christian Brunsborg, Nicola Rossi and Arno Dahlmeier. Well, Arno Dahlmeier, I think, is still in the pit lane according to the information that we have on our timing screen. But we will see whether Arno Dahlmeier is able to return to the race. When we finally get round to the start-finish line, we're going to be at maybe 17 minutes of racing time left, maybe 18 minutes of racing time left. So it's somewhat shortened this race duration, that's for sure. So all the drivers now, as Nico has suggested, choosing to, of course, re-energize the tyres by getting some temperature into them, by using the brakes as best they can, so that when we're ready to go racing, because once again, Nico, it is going to be a funnel going into turns 1 and 2, albeit it will be single file rather than side-by-side in grid formation.
Yeah, true, that's going to be a huge difference, we think, but
yeah, we hope.
You know, all the drivers will be on the lookout to not miss the moment when the crocodile starts accelerating, to stay in the picture.
Doriane Pin we're on board with now as she's preparing herself ready to get ready for the get-go, if you will, and we saw just a few moments ago Ange Bardet doing exactly the same. So there is the Doriane Pin car. You can't miss it. The colour is all pink. It's car number 83, Doriane Pin. And incidentally, going into this weekend, Doriane Pin had taken both the wins in Portimao. It was P4 yesterday. Where will it be today? Well, we're not so far away from finding out, because the safety car is about to peel off into the pit lane. So let's go get ready to go racing again. And here we go then, as John Bortik rounds the final turn and heads towards the lighting gantry. Once they've crossed the safety car line, they are allowed to overtake. Luca Nurmi is looking lively against Adrian Sutil here, but it was a good restart from John Bortik. So off John Bortik goes, and here comes Doriane Pin already making a move. And Doriane Pin is already getting past the car of Alexandre Bochet. So Doriane Pin picks off another driver then before we've even got into turn number 1. So brilliant driving from Doriane Pin so far. She'll be after Max Mugelli next, but John Bortik leading by some 8/10 of margin. And Luca Nurmi really chasing down Adrian Sutil, our winner in Trofeo Pirelli yesterday. Then it's Ange Bardet and Schoenevert, and then Hanno Laskowski. That's the way it looks across the top 6 drivers at the moment. Here comes Luca Nurmi then. Where can he provoke a mistake, potentially from Adrian Sutil, which will enable him to move himself up from P3 to P2. So Bortik, Sutil, Nurmi, then it's Bardet, Schoenevert and Hanno Laskowski. And Doriane Pin on a move, and so too is Alessandro Cozzi trying to get past Andrew Gilbert. So Alessandro Cozzi, of course, spending some time in the pit lane through the turns 9 and 10 they go, or rather turns 8 and 9, because they're approaching turn number 10 at the end of the Mistral Straight. There is Hanno Laskowski. He had such a good battle yesterday. Let's ride on board here, and as you can see, the number 4 car ahead is the car. And it's actually the number 3 car ahead that we can see of Max Mugelli for CDP Eureka. And it's Doriane Pin trying to find a way past Max Mugelli, as Max Mugelli is doing some overtaking himself as well. So the cars go side by side, and there's kind of nowhere for Doriane Pin to go. Does she go inside, outside? Well, she's trying everywhere, that's for sure. Now, very, very smooth on the controls. As you can see, the inputs from Doriane Pin are super smooth, not at all aggressive. Doriane Pin able to carry speed here. So this 3-way fight that's going on is fantastic for us to watch. So Max Mugelli, Doriane Pin, Omar Jackson ahead. So Omar Jackson then is defending from Max Mugelli. And Omar Jackson then for Quelle Racing. Then it is Max Mugelli for CDP Eureka. And then the Scuderia Nicky Iron Links driver Doriane Pin. Where is she going to go? Going into turn number 1. Here's Max Mugelli on the inside of Omar Jackson. Doriane Pin trying to go through and exactly the same hole created by Max Mugelli, and good job done there by Doriane Pin. She will focus her attention now, and you can see the lights being flashed. What she's trying to do is provoke just the tiniest of mistakes from Max Mugelli so that she can find a way by here. So riding once again on board with Doriane Pin, she's using just enough curb, trying to get the perfect trajectory. You can see the completely different line that Doriane Pin used there to try and advantage herself against Max Mugelli, of course, where they will be moving into the Mistral Straight, if you like. Doriane Pin will try and outbrake potentially going into the chicane. Let's see if she can get close enough to get the draft off the back of the Max Mugelli car and then dive to the inside. That's a bit of a prediction on my part, and I hope it pays off, because that's what I said is going to happen. And here comes Doriane Pin. My goodness me, it's not very often that I get things as right as that, but that was a textbook overtake, Nico. She executed that absolutely perfectly.
Yeah, definitely. You could see how she benefited from the draft, and she had a very good exit on the previous turn, and in combination it was just too much for Max Mugelli to defend on this.
Next in her target sights will be Hanno Laskovsky, and here we can see it in replay then, just using the draft off the back of the Max Mugelli car, and then having to be really, really keen on the brakes and make sure that you can get the car rotated. Doriane Pin clearly had 100% confidence in what the car would deliver, and it did deliver, and so did she. So that's another place picked off. So Doriane Pin is now P4 in Trofeo Pirelli, and actually has already got by Hanno Laskovsky, and is P6 in the race overall. So this is something of a real Herculean effort from Doriane Pin that she's chasing away here. Who's next in the target sights? It's Nigel Schoendeverd. Now, Nigel Schoendeverd is in a different class. However, she's got to get past the car to be able to try and get to the others as well. And you can see that Ange Bardi has broken away from Nigel Schoendeverd really rather well. So Doriane Pin needs to keep pushing and keep pushing. We're being advised that there will be a drive-through penalty for Arno Dahlmeier for causing a collision at turn number 2. Now, Arno Dahlmeier is another Scuderia Nicky Iron Links driver, and there you can see he's in hot pursuit as we speak, and he is going to have to go through and take a drive-through penalty. You have to take it within 3 laps of being advised of that drive-through penalty. So it's strife for Arno Dahlmeier then, who is going to have to come out of that battle with Andrew Gilbert and focus on driving into the pit lane and going through the pit lane for his penalty. So we will see when, within the next 3 laps, he decides or chooses to take that penalty. So Doriane Pin has got an awful lot closer to Schoendeverd already. Fastest lap been set by John Bortique now, a 2:05.939, and he's got a comfortable margin of just 1.2 seconds over Adrian Sutil, who in turn has a similar margin to Luca Nurmi, perhaps a bit more. And then it's Ange Bardi, Nigel Schoendeverd, and then it is Doriane Pin. So Doriane Pin then continuing her forward-looking trajectory as we look at the battle that's going on between Marco Pulcini and Omar Jackson. But this is the number 5 car of Adrian Sutil, currently running in P2, chasing down this man, John Bortique. So John Bortique doing a very, very good job. He did a lot of hard work in the qualifying, and Ange Bardi, who of course is racing in Trofeo Pirelli Amnico, lap for lap is almost as quick as our Pirelli drivers.
Yeah, definitely. And Doriane Pin, obviously her next real target is Luca Nomi, because he's the next driver in class. And Luca Nomi has just been given the final warning for track limits.
Interesting.
And the next warning would come in the form of a 5-second penalty. It's currently 6.5 seconds roughly between the two. If you add 5 seconds to that, it all of a sudden becomes very, very close, and we have 11.5 minutes remaining, so that's something to watch.
Very much so. So Omar Jackson has got by Marco Pulcini then, so Omar Jackson is currently running P9 in the race overall, and that's P4 within the Trofeo Pirelli Am class. So John Bortique, Adrian Sutil, Luca Nurmi, then it's Ange Bardi, and Doriane Pin has got by Nigel Schoendeveld now, so next in her target sights is going to be the car of Ange Bardi. And Ange Bardi was some way up the road from Doriane Pin, but we know how quick Doriane Pin is. So Omar Jackson and Marco Pulcini then, they're having a ding-dong battle in this particular fight that is going on. And it is for P9 and P10 in the race overall, but it's for P4 and P5 within class. And Marco Pulcini in the number 27 car, and then Omar Jackson in the car, the orange colours that you can see of Omar Jackson in car number 7. You can see Marco Pulcini really flashing the lights there, trying to distract Omar Jackson as Marco Pulcini goes to the inside. That was a big late lunge on the brakes, but there was respectful racing room given by Omar Jackson, and Pulcini then puts himself ahead of Omar Jackson. So the roles are reversed once again, Nico. And I suspect that this is going to seesaw through the remaining 10.5 minutes of this race. The places between the two of them, they are so competitive and close.
Yeah, definitely a very entertaining battle going back and forth and really giving us something to enjoy. And as you say, 10 minutes remaining. Doriane Pin continues her quest to get on terms with the top 3 Pirelli drivers. It's Angibardi in between, and he won't just wave her by, even though he is in a different class. This is his home track, so the plot really thickens with 10 minutes remaining.
10 minutes remaining. Doriane Pin, is a podium a possibility for her? You wouldn't bet against it. It's going to be jolly hard work, but and you can see the gap she's got to make up to Angibardi, and Angibardi with IB fast down the side of the car is kind of really appropriate, isn't it? And there he is inside the car. Angibardi then, local driver. He would dearly love to make it 2 out of 2 this weekend in front of his home crowd, and he's driving really well, I have to say, and has got a lot of speed. And Doriane Pin, while she will throw everything at trying to get on terms with Ange, as Nico has quite correctly pointed out, Ange is in a different class. So the battle is not really with him. The battle is with the next car up the road, which is Luca Nurmi. But of course, to be on terms with Luca Nurmi, she's got to get by Ange, and he is going to offer no assistance. I promise you that. We split the screen so that you can see Ange hard at work inside the car, and also what that looks like outside the car as well, as he makes his way through turn 9 and heads towards turn number 10 now. Doriane Pin is getting a bit closer, but I don't think is narrowing the gap quickly enough. Knowing how quick Doriane is, but she is up against the very front runners of this race now, and trying to make the time up in the 8.5 minutes that are remaining. I mean, what she would probably love now is a very quick 1-lap safety car, because that would just play into her hands nicely, because that would bunch everyone up.
Well, I don't think she will get it.
No,
the problem with the safety cars generally is it's more than just a lap, and you can see Ange is approaching Luca Nurmi because he's also feeling the pressure from Doriane Pin, and in fairness she is making up more than a second per lap,
which is good.
But on the other hand, 8 minutes means maybe 4 more laps, something like that, so the time is coming down. Now Luca Nurmi has to balance the fact that he doesn't want Angibardi to overtake him, making him vulnerable, but equally he has been warned about track limits, so overdriving the car and being too aggressive equally sounds like a bad idea.
And of course he won't necessarily overdrive the car, but of course as we reach the final third of this race, and we're well in the final third of this race, tyre degradation might form something of a factor. So the grip is going to go away from these drivers because the cars have been driven hard. Of course they've been punctuated by that safety car period where you didn't drive as hard, or where you don't drive as hard, but even so it could have something of an impact, and Luca Nurmi may not be deliberately exceeding the track limits in terms of the warnings that he's been given, but moreover just that is the grip that's being afforded to the car for the speed that he is driving at.
Absolutely, and while we are watching this developing battle, Adrian Sutil is clawing a little bit back at John Botique. Now only 7/10, but was just a few minutes ago 1.5 seconds, so this could also come to a head for the lead of the race.
Oh, that's going to be interesting. So John Botique then perhaps was going to suffer some pressure from Adrian Sutil towards the end of the race. We're into the final 6.5 minutes of this race as we watch Doriane Pin then continuing her quest to get ever closer to Angibardi, and then to Luca Nurmi with 6.5 minutes remaining. It's going to be a tall order. What she will do, though, is bank good points for P4 within class, P5 in the race overall. And She is getting closer. You're absolutely right, Nico. But we are running out of time for her to be able to not only get close, but get by both Anjabadi and Luca Nurmi. So we will see what she is able to do. But Anjabadi is now right on the back of Luca Nurmi. And Doriane Pin, just when it's needed most, sets the fastest lap of the race thus far. So there she is, Doriane Pin then in the Scuderia Nicky Iron Lynx car. And here the live gap between John Vortique and Doriane Pin. This is going to be interesting to look at. So let's get the live gap as they cross the timing line now. And John Vortique then really under pressure from Adrian Sutil. 7.239 is the margin between our race leader and Doriane Pin doing the chasing. What Doriane really wants now is for Ange to really take the fight to Luca Nurmi. That will slow both of them and allow her to get closer to potentially getting by Anjabadi, which will have no impact on Ange's position in the race, but it will allow her to perhaps take the race to Luca Nurmi in the final 5 minutes of the duration that we have available. Sutil, meantime, has taken another couple of tenths out of John Vortique, and here we can see is beginning to be right on the back end of John Vortique. So this ain't all over yet. The final 5 minutes could be quite fraught here, as Adrian Sutil then and John Vortique, who had torrid luck in Portimao, but everything has come back good for John Vortique this weekend. And you can see Adrian Sutil is really taking it to him. The gap evolution over the last 3 laps. There's Anjabadi, and here comes Adrian Sutil and John Vortique. I think that John has just responded a little bit and upped the ante and found a little more, another millimetre on the loud pedal perhaps, and has increased the margin to just under 7 tenths, and it looks like it's more than that now. Perhaps there are certain sections of the track that Adrian Sutil is able to work better than John Vortique, and I know you've been analysing the sectors as well, Nico. Where is Adrian strong? Where is John strong?
You kind of get the impression that John has set the car up a little bit more for straight line speed, so a little less in terms of wing, and therefore the second sector is the better one for him. And obviously on the straight is where you want to overtake, so that gives him the advantage. But here is Doriane Pin. Now she's got this lap, this turn actually, and then 2 more laps remaining. And you wouldn't put it beyond her, would you?
I said, is a podium a possibility for Doriane Pin? Well, we will find out. Anjabadi to Doriane Pin now is just 2 tenths, and Doriane Pin on the outside of Anjabadi. Inter-class battle it is not, therefore Doriane Pin goes through. She is now P4 in class. She is going to chase down Luca Nurmi, as Nico has predicted. We've got 2 laps left to run. What can Doriane Pin do to unsettle the Formula Racing driver that is Luca Nurmi, running in P3? My goodness me, this is going to be a knife edge right until the checkered flag. So there is Luca Nurmi, there is Doriane Pin. Luca Nurmi now needs to be really cool, calm and collected. Of course, he was the youngest driver ever in the Ferrari Challenge when he made his debut, and therefore probably doesn't suffer the stresses and pressures of someone a bit older. But when you've got someone as quick as Doriane Pin right up your trumpet, my goodness me, it cannot fail to impact you. What he needs to do is just focus on the what's in front of him rather than looking at the rearview mirror, because the moment he looks at the rearview mirror and loses concentration, Doriane Pin, like a viper, is going to be through. There was a slight mistake from Luca Nurmi right at the apex of that chicane. That has allowed Doriane Pin to get a little bit closer, and now can Doriane Pin even get closer still? And Luca Nurmi well aware of the fact where Doriane Pin is going to try and have a go, and he's trying to close the door as much as he possibly can. He can ill afford to run wide and exceed the track limits, because we know a penalty is just awaiting for him. Doriane Pin tries to go around the outside now to put herself and set herself up perfectly for the trajectory she needs to try and make an overtake on Luca Nurmi. Under 2 minutes of the race remaining. This is Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli, live from Circuit Paul Ricard, where Doriane Pin, virtually from the back of the pack, has had to fight her way through the entire grid of cars and to put herself into a potential podium position here. There's one car that is preventing that podium, and that is the number 66 car of Luca Nurmi. Nurmi and Doriane Pin go side by side. Luca Nurmi has got the inside line, which is advantageous going into turn number 1, but Doriane Pin has got so much speed. Who's going to be the king of the late breakers here? Well, they both are still together, but I think Doriane Pin has done enough. Absolutely brilliant move from Doriane Pin, who puts herself into P3, and that is a podium place, having made 12 overtakes, gone past 12 cars in the space of this race, which has been punctuated by a safety car. On the final lap, Doriane Pin secures a potential podium position, because it isn't over until we see the checkered flag, Nico.
Yeah, I mean, driver of the race, question mark. I don't think it really is a question mark, although John Vortique, who has upped the gap a little bit once again to Adrian Sutil, he looks like he is the going to get this home and defend his pole position, which is no mean feat. But Doriane Pin, I mean, to keep it controlled throughout the race is really admirable.
Absolutely a cool customer by some measure. This is our race leader, John Vortique, then. He richly deserves a race win, to be fair to him. Adrian Sutil, he tried to close the gap. This is somewhat unbelievable. Doriane Pin, then, who is in that podium place. I think it was with 6 minutes to go, Nico, that I said, I wonder if Doriane Pin could get a podium out of this. I feel I was being ambitious, but of course, I shouldn't have thought that I was being ambitious. The sheer talent of Doriane Pin, and she was able to get by Luca Nurmi. But this man, John Vortique, who leads the race and leads the Trofeo Pirelli class, has done a fine job defending from Adrian Sutil. He has one turn to finish off, which he has done. And John Vortique heads towards the checkered flag, and his engineers salute him as he takes the win ahead of Adrian Sutil. And here comes Doriane Pin, a remarkable drive to take P3. And Onjabade then will win in Trofeo Pirelli Am ahead of Nigel Schoendevert and Hanno Laskowski. Well done to John Vortique, well done to Adrian Sutil, and a big well done to Doriane Pin. So here come the rest of the cars then across the timing line then. Onjabadi has made it 2 out of 2 this weekend, but John Vortique for FML D2B is our Trofeo Pirelli winner. Good race, Nico, with plenty of drama in it, and well done to this man, Onjabadi. Trofeo Pirelli and winner for SF Côte d'Azur Can, and he will be thrilled because, of course, all his supporters that are here this weekend celebrating double bubble for him. He's been on the top step of the podium 2 times.
And 4 times
in total, yes.
In total on the season, so he is maintaining his perfect record. And do you think the team is happy?
Well, yes, I rather think. I mean, you know, to be fair to D2P, who've been waiting for the win from John Vortique, you know, he suffered some really bad luck last season as well. We opened the season this year at Portimao, where he and the car were not as one, and he really he took the best out of it, but it wasn't where it needed to be in terms of pace. And this weekend, everything has come good for him, and you know, as he's often said, you win and lose as a team. John Vortique, P1. Adrian Sutil, P2. Doriane Pin, P3. That was a nice one. There, confirmation of the Trofeo Pirelli classification then, with John Vortique winning by just under 6/10 over Adrian Sutil, and then Doriane Pin taking P3 ahead of Luca Nurmi and Max Mugelli. We will, of course, bring you the classification for Trofeo Pirelli Am as well. But first, here comes their virtual podium with Onjabade P1, Nigel Schoendevert P2, and actually, big well done to Hanno Laskowski taking P3 because he gave us a great fight yesterday. And here is the classification as I promised. Bade from Schoendevert, then Laskowski, Pulcini, Jackson. Very good result for Omar Jackson. Boucher Gilbert, Boucher Kotzi, and Arno Dahlmeier. Wow. I think I need a lay down and a strepsil after that race, Nico. Plenty to talk about.
Plenty to talk about, and great fair racing. Obviously very unfortunate that we didn't see those 2 drivers, Christian Brunsberg and Nicola Rossi, compete for longer than they did. So that's obviously disappointing for them, disappointing for us that we didn't see them, but no disappointment, I believe, will await on the podium with John Vortique obviously as the winner will be happy. Adrian Sutil, I believe, got the best he could. And Doriane Pin, from where she started this race, I'd be hugely surprised if she wasn't over the moon.
Absolutely, and so will the team be as well. And it's a good payback for the team as well. So here comes John Vortique into the Parc Fermé area. And the team of D2P are there ready to congratulate him. It's just taken a moment to take it in. And John then inside the car and is going to make his way out of it. Meantime, there for Gome Motorsport is Adrien Sutil, who, you know, let's be fair, it's his debut in the Ferrari Challenge this weekend. Of course, if you're a good driver, you're a good driver, but, you know, you need to get into a relationship almost with your car. And this is the first time Adrien Sutil has been in the car on the first weekend. Well done, Doriane. So just listening in to the congratulations being afforded to Doriane Pin. And I have to say, in terms of stature, she was huge for me yesterday when, unfortunately, she didn't finish where she wanted to in the race, but still took time to go below the podium and applaud those that had taken the podium places. A big strength of character, in my opinion. Here comes Jabati. He is into the Parc Fermé. So too is Hanno Laskovsky now.
So much to talk about with John Vortique. What a comeback after Portimao, but more important, you knew today that Adrien Sutil could pose a real threat, but you played your cards so well. Talk us through that victory and that race.
So it's the most important for me. I want to give this victory to the D2P team because after Portimao was probably the worst weekend of my life about racing. And I've worked so long to repair the car. And yeah, this race was quite tough. I've pushed all along, but I see Adrien was just behind. So I say first mistake, I will lose the win. So concentration and focus was to the top.
What do you think was the key for you to keep calm, keep cool, keep concentrated?
Yeah, it's the key of the challenge, to be honest. It's to drive so smooth as possible, to keep the tire fresh for the end, because if you miss this and you have the drop, it's finished.
Thank you very much, and well done today.
Thank you.
So John Vortique then doing a very, very good job. Also doing a good job is Doriane Pin, congratulated there by Adrien Sutil. Enjoy the highlights of that race.
we can say this weekend about this man, Ange Barde, local hero and perfect weekend? How do you feel with everything you have achieved at your home race?
Yes, it's amazing. It's a home race. We have a lot of friends here. The Ferrari organization is perfect, so it's incredible. I'm really happy to win 2 races in my home track.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Big congratulations to Ange Barde then, who has done it 2 out of 2 this weekend. We are heading up to the podium next, where Michele Mambelli is standing by to bring the drivers out onto the podium, both Trofeo Pirelli and Trofeo Pirelli Am. It's Trofeo Pirelli, first of all. You can see Doriane Pin is already there. So too is Adrian Sutil. And here is John Vorteek on the top step of the podium. Many congratulations, John Vorteek, for FML D2P. So the national anthem is faded out then. The Pirelli baseball caps go back onto the heads of our top 3 as Miguel Molina, Ferrari official Competizione GT driver, is making a trophy presentation to Doriane Pin. First of all, a remarkable drive to take P3. Adrian Sutil then, he was on the top step of the podium. It's step 2 for today. And then John Vorteek taking the race winner trophy. So well done to John Vorteek.
Mr. Lucio Vergani, Pirelli Motorsport Manager.
Luca Girani then making the Pirelli trophy presentation to John Vorteek as well. And congratulating both Adrian Sutil and Doriane Pin. So the drivers will all get together on the top step of the podium for a photograph, which is going to be really difficult because to frame that, as you can see, Adrian Sutil is 7 foot, Doriane Pin is like 4 foot. And trying to get the frame right for the photo is going to be really interesting. I jest, of course. Right, who's going to win the champagne battle then? Surely it's going to be Vorteek. Come on, John. No! Sutil was the quickest by far, and John hasn't even got the cork out of the bottle yet. Come on, friend. Here are the cars that have put those drivers onto those steps of the podium. A remarkable drive for Doriane Pin. Scuderia Nicky Iron Links. For Go Motorsport then, Adrian Sutil then on his debut for the Ferrari Challenge this weekend. He's had a win and now this P2. John Vorteek did a lot of hard work in qualifying. The team did a lot of hard work to put the car into the performance window it was in. And he nailed it, taking the win. John Vorteek. It is the 30th anniversary season of the Ferrari Challenge. And here we can see then the statistics across both Trofeo Pirelli and Trofeo Pirelli Am. Interestingly, in Trofeo Pirelli Am, top speed, Hanno Laskowski. Top speed, no surprise, in Trofeo Pirelli for Doriane Pin, who also set the fastest lap. It was Ange Barde that set the fastest lap in Trofeo Pirelli Am. So that's how the some of the race statistics looked. Next podium is going to be for our Trofeo Pirelli Am drivers that we'll be seeing. May I remind you that, please, from a social media point of view, we would love you to be part of the Ferrari family and to join us as well at Ferrari races. Please, we would love you to be involved. So here comes the Trofeo Pirelli Am podium then.
From Germany, Hanno
Laskowski, who had a great battle yesterday. This is a richly deserved podium. Hanno will be on step number 3.
Second, from Netherlands, Nigel Schandervoort.
Here comes Nigel Schandervoort then for his first podium in the Ferrari Challenge.
And the winner, French driver, Ange Barde.
Ange Barde then on the top step of the podium once again. And therefore, we will be hearing the French national anthem.
Applausi, applausi, applausi.
We are anticipating Miguel Molina once again to make the trophy presentations. As if by magic, there he is. So Ferrari official GT driver and darned good chap is Miguel, who has shared the studio booth with us on more than one occasion for his incisive insights into racing. So, trophies presentation to Hanno Laskovski, also to Nigel Schoendeverd, and now to the race winner. 2 out of 2 this weekend is local track on Jabade. Here comes the Pirelli trophy. Lucio Vajani then, the Pirelli representative, making that trophy presentation. And there's Ange just making sure everyone goes to the right step of the podium. Which they do.
Okay.
And the photographs then. Who's going to win the champagne battle? Hanno Laskovski is where my money is. Let's see.
Of the end podium with champagne. Champagne.
We didn't get to see. Hanno Laskovski then for Riller and Schnauk, P3 in Trofeo Pirelli Am. For P2 then, it is the car of Nigel Schoendeverd for Scuderia FM8, and then taking the win for the SF Côte d'Azur, Ange Bardet, SF Côte d'Azur. Let's take a look at the Drivers' Championship then, across both Trofeo Pirelli and Trofeo Pirelli Am as we leave Paul Ricard. For Trofeo Pirelli, Doriane Pin still leading the championship, but John Boutique has closed to just 7 points. Gap between P1 and P2, 57 playing 50, and then Luca Nomi is P3 on 44 points. Let's take a look at the Drivers' Championship in the AMS then. Ange Bardet is leading by 32 points on 67, ahead of Marco Pulcini and Christian Brunsburg, who's had a torrid race today. Then it's Arno Dahlmeier. That's the way it looks in the Drivers' Championship, or the first 3 or 4 places in the Drivers' Championship for Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli Am. And there we can see, and of course we will be continuing throughout our season then to amass those points and see who goes up and who goes down. The next round is between the 17th and the 19th of June as we go east. For some 1,445 kilometers, the journey distance between Paul Ricard and Hungaroring. Therefore, better get the bicycle chain oiled and get ready to rock. Thank you so much for enjoying the Ferrari Challenge with us this weekend on behalf of Nico and myself. Please make sure you join us in the Hungaroring. Follow us on @Ferrari Races, and goodbye for now.